Speaking to me now is Welsh light middleweight boxer Jerome Samuels. Jerome, you turned pro at only 18 years old. What was your early attitude to professional boxing when you first turned pro?
Well, to be honest, I was in a situation where I just needed some money and that, and the money was good enough, and I thought, I just didn't really take it serious, to be honest. I wasn't training properly, just doing enough to get through the fights and pick up a purse and come home. A lot of all of my fights, to start off with, were away and that, and it just it unveiled to me sort of like that it's a man's sport, do you know what I mean? And I was sort of like, at that time in my career, at the beginning, I was like a boy in a man's world, so to speak. So, but hopefully things are changing now and on the up. You've
won your last two fights. What was the motivation to try and sort of turn your career around and get to winning ways?
Well, I was at a time in my life where I met my partner, Becky Flage. Shout out for her. But she just become probably one of the best things that could have happened to me, to be honest. And obviously having a fiance, when your missus ringside, she don't want to see a loser, and it's the motivation of me getting up in the morning and in the long run sort of giving her a better life than what we both had. Do you know what I mean? Just trying to give her a good life, and for myself and any future children I have and things like that, and that's what sort of motivated me and got me back to winning ways.
For people who've never watched you box before, how would you describe your style?
Well, my style sort of, I can box a bit, but hopefully in my next fight I want to show people now that I'm going to show them that I can bang a bit as well, where with my old man, someone who boxed for a world title twice, and he was considered as one of the the biggest hitters in the light middleweight division of around the 2000 era, and that he was amongst some big names, big world rankings, of world champions around the world. And my style sort of, I'd say, is a box / banger puncher, if you want to call it.
You mentioned your dad there. How much advice and tips regarding training and boxing management and boxing politics has he given you since you sort of decided to turn pro?
Well, we separated for a while, went our separate ways, come back together. Things have gone well, he gives me pointers, just one of the main pointers he gave me since these last two fights is he just said to me, go in there and enjoy yourself. And I've seemed to go in there, use my ability, use my fitness and enjoy what I'm doing. If you go in there and enjoy what you're doing, you'll get the best out of yourself. If you don't go in there and not enjoying it, then you'll only, you'll probably come out a bit poor, But I mean, my old man, I got big boots to fill, do you know what I mean? I'm only trying to fill my own boots, to be honest, hopefully, because obviously, my dad went right to the top, failed at the last hurdle, and that's not too bad, boxed for a world title twice, British title, do you know what I mean? He went a long way.
You mentioned there that you were enjoying professional boxing now, but what is the hardest thing about being a pro boxer, or a dedicated pro boxer, which I know you are now?
It's probably the dieting, and I mean, it's got to be the hardest because I never overweight because there's not a lot on me. When I get to the last 2 pounds, if I'm walking around about 11.6, 11.7, when I get down to 11.1, 11 stone, I've got to come in 10.11 or 10.10. It's the last couple of pounds I find the hardest, and also having the fact of on the weekends, I'll be waking up 7 o'clock in the morning for my runs. And you've got my girlfriend next to me asleep, and I'm just looking at her thinking, oh, shall I? It's just the temptation, should I just fall back to sleep with her? But it's hard, but she's behind me 100%, and she's kept me motivated, and she is what seems to keep motivating me every single day. Every little struggle we come by. I always look at boxing, in the long run, by the grace of God, it'll get us out of everything and every struggle we're in.
Do you have any childhood boxing heroes who you used to watch on TV and you sort of look up to and try and base your style around at all?
Well, as I was growing up, obviously, when my father turned pro, he was one I always looked up to because, his first 15 fights, 15 wins, 10 knockouts, I suggest a big puncher, and he was a very you know, so sort of I watched some of his fights and I always thought, you know, flipping out, you know, his style, the way, you know, it wasn't just one-dimensional, you know, the 1 minute he could be stood toe-to-toe with, the next minute he could be jabbing your head off, you know, and then obviously our own Joe Calzaghe as well, obviously my dad and him turned pro together, so I grew up around them people, do you know what I mean, of going in the gym when I was 9 years old, going up to Newbridge with my dad, watching my dad spar with Joe and Gavin Rees, so I've been around all that type of company, you know, and being around like big fights and things like that. My dad used to took me to watch the Kessler fight, and we go into the change rooms after, and you know, I've been around all that. Some things that, you know, some kids will never get that opportunity, do you know what I mean? And I had it in many times, so awesome.
When can the Welsh and British boxing fans see you in action again? When's your next fight lined up for?
My next fight is lined up for July the 27th. That's in Newport Leisure Centre. You can reach me on Facebook or Twitter, or you can reach my number on 079 641 60742, and tickets start at £30, just your normal and reserved, or you can get your VIP ringside tickets, and that's you'll be sat on a table amongst, you know, with a big buffet of food and, you know, and all drinks served and things like that. So, but yeah, that's when the British and the Welsh fans will see me next, and hopefully they're going to see a different style, most definite.
You boxed more or less all your early pro fights on the road. What's it going to be like boxing in your hometown in Newport with your home fans there?
I don't know, just try not too much pressure. I think I'm going to be probably nervous because the fact that, like, even the 2 wins that I've just had now have been on the road. I mean, I went to Southampton, you know, I beat their prospect up there. Everyone, he was highly rated, your ABA champion, and I went up there and just beat him easy. It was a convincing win. Then I boxed a week later in Swindon. So I'm still sort of, I don't know what it is with me. I've got that mentality of, I don't care if you've got 5,000 fans, it's only me and you in our ring. And when our bell goes, your 5,000 fans, or 100, 300, 400 fans, they're not going to help you. No one's going to help you, only yourself. So that's how I look at it. So yeah, it's going to be wicked. I want to put on a really good performance. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Many sponsors have helped have come on board now as well. I'd like to thank Andrew Collinborn, part of the Wand group, that sort of hires me in a property I'm staying at the moment, which is lovely. Also a big thanks to Mark Pryor, who helps, you know, with sponsors, give me some money and that before fights. Also Jeff Young Nutrition, who supplies all my nutritional supplements and things like that. And obviously a big thanks to my family as well and everyone else who's supporting me now.
Final question. For the people who do buy tickets for your show on the 27th, what type of fight can they expect?
Well, funnily enough, if I got one point across, is the boy who won boxing beat me in the amateurs. So it makes it exciting just at that alone. And I mean, it was a bad decision because it was on his own show, and he even said to me after the fight, you know, I thought you won. But when he steps inside that ring with me in the pro games, he's going to know. And my fans, they can expect me to put on a boxing lesson. But if I feel like I want to switch, then we'll have a little tear up as well. So I'm down for whatever. But there's always a game plan, and my trainer has worked out one. So I think I follow that, and then if I can see I can take him out, then away he'll go.